Want to speak real Polish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at PolishPod101.com.
Top 10 most common tourist vocabulary. So are you ready? So our first word is bilet. It means ticket. So once again, bilet means a ticket. And for example, you can say poproszę bilet normalny. Poproszę bilet normalny. Normal ticket, please. So actually, normal ticket, yeah, it's a literal translation. We say in Poland, bilet normalny for an adult ticket. So, as opposed to the one for children, which we will say ulgowy. Ulgowy. Ulgowy means that there is some kind of ulga. So it means that there is some percent off the price. So you pay less. And bilet normalny is we just say normal ticket, but it means adult ticket, like the very basic ticket, as opposed to the one for kids. Or to the one for elders, which they usually have a cheaper ticket as well. And depending on the city you go in Poland, sometimes you will buy just one ticket for the bus and you can go as many stops as you want. Like this is how it works in Warsaw. But also in Warsaw you can buy time-limited ticket, like for example a ticket for 75 minutes, and this means that you can go wherever you want for 75 minutes from the time you validate this ticket, but you can change the bus. So for example, if you have to take the tram and then you bus and then you have to switch to metro or something, so you are basically taking three different transportation ways, then it's better for you maybe to get a 75 minutes ticket, so you can switch between those and don't pay additional price and you don't have to buy another ticket, which is a very convenient way. And what happens if you are stuck with this 75 minutes ticket in a traffic jam? Well, usually most of the vehicles like buses or like trams, they will have a ticket machine inside of it. So you can buy another ticket if you're like running late and then there is a big traffic jam and you didn't really count it in and now it's your 75 minutes is already over, then you can buy a new one at the bus. If there is no ticket machine, the best thing you can do is just get off at the next bus stop. So that's how it works in Warsaw, and other cities around the Poland is sometimes different. Sometimes you have one-time tickets, sometimes you have time limit tickets, sometimes you have a different type of ticket, so be sure to ask about it when you get to the city. Our next word is turysta, a tourist. Turysta means a tourist, so that probably will be you when you are going around and sightseeing in Poland. And for example, you can say dużo tutaj turystów. There is a lot of tourists here. Dużo tutaj turystów. So actually there is more and more tourists coming to Poland, to Warsaw, to Kraków, of course. But lately even cities like Wrocław, Opole, Poznań even, or Gdańsk are pretty much touristic. There is a lot of tourists coming and they are very busy, especially during summer, especially Gdańsk, which is very close to the Baltic Sea. It's a super busy city during the summer. Plan podróży, itinerary. For example, you can say to jest nasz plan podróży. To jest nasz plan podróży. This is our itinerary. And of course, it's good to make your plan podróży before you come to Poland. And I would advise you to stay for about a week or so to see as much as you can, because coming for a shorter period of time, like 3 days or 2 days, it can be okay, but you will probably not enjoy it so much. So at least, I would say at least 1 week, if not more, because Poland is a big country. And there is a lot of places you can travel to, you can travel around. I guess right now all the big major cities are pretty well connected with the train usually, or sometimes buses. And buses can be very cheap. So please check it out when you plan to go to Poland, if you can go by train, or maybe you should take a bus. Sometimes it's just a small difference, and all the buses usually have Wi-Fi, so you can still watch something or just sit down and play or whatever, and enjoy your bus ride as well. Przewodnik, the guidebook. The same word can be used to refer to a guide or a mail guide. Przewodnik. And you can ask somebody, masz przewodnik? Masz przewodnik? Do you have a guidebook? Of course, it's important to buy one before coming to Poland, so you can know all the attractions that are waiting ahead for you. So to make your plan podróży, your itinerary, it's very important to have one. But also, when you are walking around, sometimes it's just very convenient to have something like that, to have your przewodnik, to check out for new restaurants or something that's around you. Of course, you can use internet, and there is Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere around in bigger cities, and that's sometimes more convenient, but sometimes just, easy to have your book, your guidebook. Our next word is autobus wycieczkowy, which means a tour bus. And lately it's been more and more popular to go around big cities like Warsaw or Krakow with a tour bus. So it's easy because you can just buy one ticket and you can go around. And in Warsaw there is also one city bus that is dedicated for tourists. So of course everybody can take it, but the funny part is that it goes around Warsaw and it gets you to all those big tourist locations. So it goes from one tourist location to another, and of course it's a normal city bus. And as I said, anybody can take it. But the funny part is that, it goes around all the main sites, so that's very, very convenient. And if you are taking a tour and you've got this tour bus, you can say, gdzie jest nasz autobus wycieczkowy? Gdzie jest nasz autobus wycieczkowy? Where is our tour bus? Gdzie jest nasz autobus wycieczkowy? Świątynia means a temple, and you will not find a lot of temples in Poland, very close to zero, but sometimes we call a church a temple as well. So sometimes we actually refer to a church as świątynia or świątynia Boga, like the God's temple or something like that. And for example, you can say, zróbmy sobie zdjęcie przed świątynią. Zróbmy sobie zdjęcie przed świątynią. Let's take a picture in front of a temple. Another one, meczet, mosque. There are some places where we still have some. In my hometown, we used to have one. We don't have it anymore, but everybody knows where it used to be, so everybody refers to that place, this place where a meczet was, where a mosque was. And in a sentence, you can use this word like this. Ten meczet jest bardzo stary. Ten meczet jest bardzo stary. This mosque is very old. The next word is super important in Poland, and it's kościół, church. Basically, if you are going around Poland, very, very possible that you will be going or sightseeing around all those churches. So all around kościół, kościół, kościół. And for example, you can say, ten kościół został zbudowany w średniowieczu. Ten kościół został zbudowany w średniowieczu. This church was built in the Middle Ages. Ten kościół został zbudowany w średniowieczu. Yes, we do have a lot of kościół or a lot of churches in Poland. For example, in my hometown, Opole, we do have around 4, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3, around 3 in just the city, the main part, the main city square in the city center. So it's like maybe 2 minutes from one church to another, and they're all different. So it's very nice for sightseeing or going around, but it's like literally maybe 2-3 minutes between one and the other. And when they have and on Sunday, you can hear the bells ringing in one church and another one, and 5 minutes later another one. So it's very funny. And yeah, we have a lot of churches in Poland, basically. Some of them very beautiful. So please check it out. Our next word is wodospad. Wodospad means waterfall, and it's basically the word itself is built like in English. So water is falling, and in Poland is wodospad. Spad like go down, from spadać, and wodo from woda, from water, so the water is falling, wodospad. And for example, you can say, podobno tam jest duży wodospad. Podobno tam jest duży wodospad. There is supposed to be a big waterfall out there. Podobno tam jest duży wodospad. Well, we don't really have a lot of waterfalls in Poland. I guess if you go to the mountains, you will see like a small river and something like a waterfall, which can look beautiful. But I guess we have more lakes maybe, which are even more beautiful. So please be sure to check out Polish nature, because it's amazing. Our next word is a lot of fun, and it's wycieczka. Wycieczka means a tour, and if you find a nice wycieczka in an offer, maybe you can say, pojedziemy na tę wycieczkę. Pojedziemy na tę wycieczkę. Are we going for this tour? And of course you can like go by yourself and go around and do sightseeing by yourself, but it's also very nice to get a tour, a guided tour. Especially if you go around Krakow, like you go to Auschwitz or you go to Wieliczka. And I think it's very important to get guided tour there, because first of all, it's very difficult to get there. And second of all, it's nice to go there with somebody who can tell you a little bit more about the place than just see the place. Top 10 phrases tourists should never use. So here we go. To jest obrzydliwe. That's disgusting. To jest obrzydliwe. To jest obrzydliwe. To jest obrzydliwe means it's disgusting. And I guess you would never like anybody to say that about your, for example, traditional food. So I never met anybody who would say something like that about Polish food or Polish traditions, or at least not into my face, but I will feel very bad if somebody did. I guess there is a lot of different countries where you can go and with a lot of food that looks disgusting, but still you shouldn't say that, because those people are eating that and it's like for them it's for something traditional or something like they eat every day. And I bet you wouldn't like to hear it either. So please don't do it. Don't do it in Poland or in any other country. Mój kraj jest lepszy. My country is better. Mój kraj jest lepszy. Mój kraj jest lepszy. Which means my country is better. Obviously, a big no-no. Please avoid it. Avoid it in Poland. Avoid it in any other country. Me as a Polish person, I wouldn't like to hear that, and especially from people from neighboring countries, because we tend to, try to get better and better and better, and we tend to try to get better than other countries around us, and of course everybody else is doing the same thing, but you never ever verbalize that, don't say it. Wolałabym wrócić do domu. I would rather be back home. Wolałabym wrócić do domu. Wolałabym wrócić do domu. So if you are a girl, you will actually say that. If you are a guy, you may try saying wolałbym wrócić do domu. So wolałabym, wolałbym. But what does it mean? Well, it means that I would rather be back home. And yeah, imagine hearing that in your country. Like, you will feel just sad when people say that. This means that they really don't like it here. And that's something that's a very rude thing to say, and you may hurt a lot of people around you, so please don't do it ever. Big no. Zamknij się. Shut up. Okay, so the next one is not only for tourists, but in general we shouldn't say that phrase, and it's zamknij się. Zamknij się. Which literally it means close yourself, but basically we use it as a shut up. Zamknij się. And obviously that's not a nice thing to say, not even to your friends, and it's very rude, and even your best friends with whom you are very close, and maybe it's okay to say in English, but in Polish, no. People will just get angry at you. So please try to avoid this one, but know what it means, because you may hear it from somebody else, and that's the point where you should be angry at this person. Nie interesuje mnie twoja kultura. I'm not very interested in your culture. Another big no-no when you're in a foreign country is nie interesuje mnie twoja kultura. Nie interesuje mnie twoja kultura, which basically means I'm not interested in your culture. And that's the point when you're asking yourself, why are you even here? If you are not interested in it, and why don't you just get back home? And basically you feel offended, you feel maybe attacked because your culture or whatever you are living in, like your everyday life, your everyday culture, small things you do every day, it's obviously very important to all the people around you. And if somebody says, well, I have no interest in that, like do whatever or be whatever, that's the point where you can really hurt people. So please don't do it. Nie lubię poznawać nowych ludzi. I don't like meeting new people. Another one is not so much for a tourist as for a person just meeting new people, where, well, I guess if you are a tourist, you will meet a lot of new people, and that's the point where you shouldn't use this phrase. Nie lubię poznawać nowych ludzi. Nie lubię poznawać nowych ludzi, which basically means I don't like meeting new people. And if you are telling it to a person you've just met, well, that's a big faux pas you shouldn't make. So please try to avoid it. Zjedzmy w McDonaldzie. Let's just eat at McDonald's. Another one that is a big no-no is zjedzmy w McDonaldzie. Zjedzmy w McDonaldzie. Which means let's just eat at McDonald's. And yes, of course, if you are going to another country, people would like you to try their own food, and the same is in Poland, and the same goes anywhere you go. So like, for example, one of my Polish friends, he came to Japan, and Japan, amazing food, and he was eating McDonald's every day and spending much more money than he should on it, because it's actually pretty expensive. And he never ever tried like this good Japanese food. So I guess all the people he knew from Japan, they felt a little bit offended. And it would be the same for me from Poland. So if you come to Poland and you are like, I will not try Polish food. Like, let's just go to McDonald's. Let's just eat at McDonald's. Like, why? Why are you even here? Why don't you want to get to know new culture, right? So please try to avoid this. Nudy. Boring. Nudy. Nudy or nudy means boring. And that's something you don't want to say, not even like as a tourist, but as a friend, or if you go to Polish home, Polish house, or whenever you talk to Polish people, you are sitting around anybody who can understand Polish, and you say like, oh, it's so boring, nudy. No, that's something you don't want to do ever. And that's goes the same in any other language, I guess. And not even if you're a tourist, but if you're like in your own country and just speaking with somebody who speaks Polish, please don't do this. Not good. To smakuje okropnie. This tastes awful. To smakuje okropnie. To smakuje okropnie. To smakuje okropnie means this tastes awful. This tastes awful. Yeah, something you wouldn't like to tell somebody, especially if this person, your Polish friend, cooked you a wonderful dinner and you got this opportunity to try all this different Polish food. And then you are like, to smakuje okropnie. No, not a good thing to do in any country, Polish or Poland included. Zostanę dzisiaj w hotelu. I'm going to spend the day in the hotel. Another one that somebody may actually feel offended is zostanę dzisiaj w hotelu. Zostanę dzisiaj w hotelu. I'm going to spend the day in the hotel. So yes, obviously, zostanę dzisiaj w hotelu is something you wouldn't like to hear if you are like, if your friend comes to your country and you want to show them like everything and you prepared everything and you've got this whole one-day schedule, sightseeing schedule, and they say, nah, today I'll just stay at the hotel, zostanę dzisiaj w hotelu, and I would just eat at McDonald's, I would just, zjem w McDonaldzie, I will eat at McDonald's. And this is, showing that you have no interest whatsoever in the country you just came to. And it's a very bad way to start a relationship with a country like that or with a person from that country. A big no-no, please don't do it. Let's arrive at the station. So here we go. Jadę do. I would like to go to. The first and the most important one is jadę do. Jadę do Krakowa, jadę do Torunia, jadę do Poznania, jadę do Wrocławia. So, jadę do means I would like to go to. Luckily for you, this phrase is very short, first of all, and it's the same for male and female, so you don't have to change. Well, if you want to use the plural form, would be jedziemy do. Jedziemy do. So the preposition stays the same, do, and we just change the verb from jadę to jedziemy. And you can say, for example, jedziemy do Gdańska, jedziemy do Krakowa, jedziemy do Torunia, jedziemy do Poznania. So you may have noticed already that the name of the city changes. Like Toruń becomes Torunia, Gdańsk becomes Gdańska, Wrocław becomes Wrocławia, Kraków becomes Krakowa, Łódź becomes Łodzi, and this is because the case changes. So we change the case to genitive case. That's the second case. So when you use preposition do, as in jadę do, you change it to the second case. So the name of the city will change. Jadę do Warszawy. We don't say jadę do Warszawa. That's a mistake. Jadę do Warszawy. And actually I said it means I would like to go to, but like very literally, it means I'm going to, I'm heading to. Czy z tego peronu odjeżdża pociąg do? Is this the right platform for? Wow, and our next one is something you would definitely need in Poland, because this changes a lot. It's a very long one, so be prepared. Czy z tego peronu odjeżdża pociąg do? Is this the right platform for? So let's just look at this phrase a little bit closer. So first we have the particle czy, that's asking. Z tego peronu, from this platform, odjeżdża, leaves. And then pociąg do, train to. Czy z tego peronu odjeżdża pociąg do? That's the whole phrase. And you can say, czy z tego peronu odjeżdża pociąg do Warszawy? Is this the right platform for Warsaw? Czy z tego peronu odjeżdża pociąg do Torunia? Is this the right platform for Toruń? And as you probably notice, there is the same preposition do as in the previous one, jadę do. Hence, we change the name of the city. So again, Toruń becomes Torunia, Warszawa becomes Warszawy, and Kraków becomes Krakowa, and so on and so on. So remember to change the name of the city. And it is very important for you to remember to memorize this phrase, because in Poland, sadly, especially as far as I remember, in Warsaw, in the central station, platforms change very often, like last minute, 5 minutes to train, and they say, oh, the platform was changed from number 5 to number 1, and you run. And it really happens very often, and it's very hectic, and it's like, yeah, so not to panic, that's the first rule, and then run, that's the second rule, and ask, that's the third rule. So don't, even if you go to the platform, the right platform, don't just rest reassured that it's okay and I'm just waiting and just relax. I mean, it's okay to relax, but always check if this is the right platform again and again, because it really changes a lot. O której jest ostatni pociąg? What time is the last train? Our next phrase is o której jest ostatnie metro, which is actually a sentence, and it means what time is the last metro? O której jest ostatnie metro? So, if you're in Warsaw, it's very common to travel with metro, even though we have only actually 2 lines, but it's going through the whole Warsaw. It is really, really, really convenient. And one thing to remember about Warsaw, well, buses are basically 24/7. Only that, at night you have to pay like small additional charge for the ticket. And the other thing about buses is that, well, it's very convenient because all the buses are going to the city center at night, and all the buses are going out from the city center. So basically, if you're really drunk and you were at a party and you want to get home, just take any bus, and sooner or later you end up in the city center, and then you can take the correct bus or the right bus that's going to your house. Nevertheless, it takes time, and metro is more convenient. During the weekdays, it's still running pretty late and then starting pretty fast. But during the weekends, it's running 24/7. So it's really, really convenient. Just find the bus stop and get to the bus, and go to the city center, get to the correct bus. And that's it. And you can go back home anytime you want, without paying for taxi. Gdzie mam się przesiąść w pociąg do? Where do I change for? Okay, the next very important phrase is gdzie mam się przesiąść w pociąg do? Gdzie mam się przesiąść w pociąg do? Where do I change for? Actually, where do I change for a train to? That would be maybe more correct translation. For example, you can say gdzie mam się przesiąść w pociąg do Wrocławia? Where do I change for the train to Wrocław? Gdzie mam się przesiąść w pociąg do Krakowa? Where do I change to a train to Kraków, or for a train to Kraków? And as you may already remember, and if not, then please try to memorize that. After the preposition do, we use the second case, the genitive case. So we change the name of the city again, Kraków, Krakowa, Warszawa, Warszawy, Wrocław, Wrocławia, and so on and so on. Opole, my hometown, to Opola. Gdzie jest stacja kolejowa? Where's the train station? Even if you know all those phrases, you will never ever get to the right place if you don't know this one. Gdzie jest stacja kolejowa? Gdzie jest stacja kolejowa? Where is the train station? So you may already know that gdzie means where, and stacja kolejowa is just train station. Usually the main train station will be somewhere around the city center, but for bigger cities they will have few train stations like around the city, even though within the city you don't really travel by train. You travel by trams, you travel by buses. Well, in Warsaw there is metro as well, but you don't really travel by train within the city. But you will still even like maybe medium or big cities, you will have few train stations located around the city, with the main train station usually in the city center, or I think 99.9% of examples it will be so. Gdzie mogę nabyć bilet? Where can I buy a ticket? Our next phrase, or actually a sentence, is Gdzie mogę nabyć bilet? Gdzie mogę nabyć bilet? Where can I buy a ticket? And, well, you probably remember gdzie is where, and bilet is a ticket. The word nabyć is actually maybe a little bit difficult. Nabyć means just to buy. And of course you can use gdzie mogę kupić bilet. You probably know already kupić. Kupić means to buy, but nabyć is a more fancy way of saying to buy something. And we use it very often as well. So, gdzie mogę kupić bilet? It's perfectly fine. Gdzie mogę nabyć bilet? Is level up if you want to learn another word for kupić. Nabyć. Ile kosztuje bilet do? How much is it to? Okay, and the next very important one is ile kosztuje bilet do? How much is a ticket to? Ile kosztuje bilet do? How much is it to? Or actually literally, how much is a ticket to? And as I already said, within the city, I don't think there will be big difference. I mean, like the ticket will be within the city, so that's okay. So there will be one ticket, but if you are going, for example, from Warsaw to Krakow, or from Krakow to Wrocław, or anywhere else within Poland, then of course this is a very useful phrase to learn. And the same preposition do, so remember we use second case, genitive case, for cities. So we can say, for example, ile kosztuje bilet do Krakowa? So Kraków changes to Krakowa. Ile kosztuje bilet do Krakowa? How much is the ticket to Krakow? Ile kosztuje bilet do Warszawy? How much is the ticket to Warsaw? Ile kosztuje bilet do Gdańska? How much is the ticket to Gdańsk? And so on, and so on, and so on. Gdzie jest przystanek autobusowy? Where's the bus stop? Yeah, and to take the bus, you really need to know how to ask where the bus stop is. And in Polish we say, gdzie jest przystanek autobusowy? Gdzie jest przystanek autobusowy? Where's the bus stop? So przystanek is a stop and autobusowy means bus, so bus stop. And for big cities like Warsaw, there is plenty of bus stops everywhere around. So basically you just walk around and you will find one sooner or later. In smaller cities like my hometown, Opole, there's not so many. I basically always opt for walking around than taking a bus. So yes, so it's very important to know how to ask where one is. Gdzie jest przystanek autobusowy? O której będzie następny autobus? What time is the next bus? Now, once you get to this przystanek autobusowy or the bus stop, you may want to ask, o której będzie następny autobus? O której będzie następny autobus? What time is the next bus? And yeah, I mean, like, you can always check it, right? But sometimes the timetables are very confusing, and then you have weekdays and weekends and bus numbers and so on. And some buses will not go this way or this way, and maybe, like, sometimes, you've got different times for the same bus, and depending on which color it is, this bus will go this route or this route, and then you may end up missing your own bus stop. Which, by the way, another thing to remember, in some cities like Warsaw, some bus stops are on demand, so if you don't press the button, it will not stop. And the thing is that if you look at all the bus stops in line, the one on demand, they are being marked. I don't remember exactly how, but as far as I remember, there is, like, for normal one is like a circle filled black, and then for the one on demand, there's like circle just white inside. So, but when you look at it, it's kind of obvious that there's something wrong with those bus stops. So remember to press the button. Gdzie są biletomaty? Where are the ticket machines? And our last one for today is, gdzie są biletomaty? Where are the ticket machines? Gdzie są biletomaty? Actually, the word biletomaty or biletomat sounds very weird even for myself. Since it's a new word, it's basically a word that was created, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, when we got those, ticket machines, and saying something like maszyna na bilety, maszyna do biletów, maszyna gdzie się kupuje bilety, where maszyna, yeah? Maszyna means machine. So saying a long phrase like that was just really not the thing you want to do. And someone, I don't know, made this phrase, this word, biletomat. And right now we have biletomaty, I mean, of course, next to the metro, on some bus stops, on many tram stops, inside of a tram, inside of a bus as well. So not all, but many. So I wouldn't say it's always there, but many occasions, yes. I mean, in Warsaw at least. So what it is therefore is that if you buy like 30 minutes ticket and you are stuck in traffic jam, you cannot even go out of the bus and say, like, save yourself paying a fine once your ticket is not valid anymore. But you cannot buy a ticket as well unless you've got this machine over there sitting there and waiting for you to buy a new one, which is very often the case. So that's actually pretty convenient, right? Top 10 marriage proposal lines. So here we go. Wyjdziesz za mnie? Will you marry me? And I guess, well, it's the simplest one, the shortest one, and the most effective one as well. You may already know the word wyjść, which means to go out. So it's kind of like using the word to go out, but then putting this weird preposition, which usually doesn't come with the word to go out, which is za, and then myself, mnie, wyjdziesz za mnie, which basically means, will you marry me? But if you ever forget how to say it, just think, go out, okay, wyjdziesz, okay, wyjdziesz za mnie. And the funny part is that, the very, very useful part is that you can use the same phrase for both guys and girls, and both guys and girls can use it. So it's very, very convenient. Czy zrobisz mi ten zaszczyt I zostaniesz moją żoną? Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? And obviously, because it's my wife, well, you can say it only to a girl. And czy zrobisz mi ten zaszczyt sounds very traditional, like will you do me an honor, or will you do me the honor? It's like in English, it sounds very pathetic, very traditional, very, very old-fashioned, I guess. So yeah, for me, I don't think I would like my boyfriend to say that. It'd be a little bit weird, but I guess it really depends on the person, and you probably know your lady best, so you can decide for the longer one, for this one, even though she will like it. Czy sprawisz, że zostanę najszczęśliwszym mężczyzną na ziemi? Will you make me the happiest man alive? Yeah, I don't know, like, maybe I'm not so old-fashioned. It's not something I would like to hear, but I've been never dreaming of this white dress and marriage and stuff like that, while my friends were, and they already married, and they already have kids, and they already have their own households, and I'm not married, and I don't have any kids, and I don't have my own house, and I'm not even looking for that, to be honest. So I guess if you're more like old-fashioned, traditional household style, then you will go for the longer one. If you're like me, you will just go for the shortened one, and then maybe think of very nice way to say it, very nice praise to say it, and so on. So our next phrase is czekałem na ciebie całe życie. I've been waiting for you my whole life. Czekałem na ciebie całe życie. And since czekałem is in masculine form, then yeah, a guy can use it to a girl or a guy, if you prefer. But that's masculine form. If you are a girl and you really want to use this one, you will say czekałam. Czekałam na ciebie całe życie. I've been waiting for you my whole life. Czekałem, czekałam. Yeah, so small, tiny little difference. And yet again, not something I would like to hear, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm not romantic enough for this stuff. Or maybe I would like to actually hear that. Not sure. Undecided. Okay, let's go to the next one. Chcę być z tobą na zawsze. I want to be with you forever. Gosh, yeah. That's another one that for me it sounds a little bit cheesy, but then again, when I see like when I hear like I want to be with you forever, this sounds pretty cool actually. But then the Polish translation, which is okay, which is something people will use, chcę być z tobą na zawsze, chcę być z tobą na zawsze, I don't know, it doesn't sound so cool as in English. I have no idea why. It's just it. But yeah, it really depends on the person, right? Spędźmy ze sobą resztę życia. Let's spend the rest of our lives together. Wow, we are getting more and more romantic. And this one you can use for a guy, and you can use it for a girl, and you can use it if you are a guy or if you are a girl. So it's very, very convenient, because you don't have to change any forms. Spędźmy ze sobą resztę życia. It's all about us. Doesn't matter if you are guys, girls, guy and girl, and which way around. You can use it for any kind of relationship. And that's very convenient. It's very romantic. I wonder if I will ever hear that and how I will react to it. No idea. Mając ciebie przy boku, czuję się spełniony. Having you by my side is what completes me. And that is something that a guy can say, because spełniony is an adjective in a masculine form. You can change it very easily and say, mając ciebie przy boku, czuję się spełniona. Whoa, and that's another one. Oh, I don't know if I will ever hear this. It's very romantic. Well, my boyfriend is not that romantic. Probably never ever. But yeah, I guess it would be nice to hear something like that once in a while, or once in a lifetime, or any time. Nie mogę sobie wyobrazić życia bez ciebie. I can't imagine my life without you in it. And this is another convenient one because, again, you don't have to change anything. You can use it to anyone, and you can use it as a girl, you can use it as a guy, so that's very good. That's not happening very often in Polish, so please use it. And oh my gosh, like, I guess, you will say it to somebody you really love, and maybe not somebody whom you just started dating, because this person would just get a little bit scared, I guess. Or maybe I'm not so romantic, I don't know. Chciałbym dać ci wszystko, ale mam nadzieję, że ten pierścionek wystarczy. I wish I could give you everything, but I hope that this ring is enough. And now you hit the level of being romantic, like this is like pretty much Superman of being romantic. And romantic phrases, and if your lady really likes that, that's something you can use. And here we've got chciałbym, so that's masculine form, so if you are a girl and you still want to use it, this is chciałabym, chciałabym. You just change it a little bit. Chciałbym, chciałabym. And that's all, and you're ready to go. Jestem pewien, że ja I ty jesteśmy sobie przeznaczeni. I now know that you and I are truly meant to be together. Woohoo! I know some guys who would actually use it as a pickup line, and I don't think it's a good idea. It sounds a little bit creepy if you do it at your first date, or I don't know, even before that. But as a proposal line, on the other hand, yeah, I guess it can go very well. I would feel a little bit weird, to be honest, but then again, as I already said on multiple occasions in this episode, I may not be the biggest, romantic ever. Even though, yeah, I would like my boyfriend to be a little bit more romantic, I guess, but me, myself, I'm not that big of a romantic. What are your top 10 language learning goals for the year? So here we go. Skończę survival phrases na polishpod101.com słuchając 2 lekcji dziennie. I will finish survival phrases series on polishpod101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. Skończę survival phrases na polishpod101.com słuchając 2 lekcji dziennie. Which means I will finish survival phrases series on polishpod101.com by listening to 2 lessons a day. To set yourself a realistic goal, and then when you can actually measure what you did, and every day you listen just to 2 lessons, it's roughly maybe 20, 25, 30 minutes. If you want to review, it can be up to 1 hour, but it's very easy to do. So I would say, like, set yourself realistic goals and give yourself feedback and challenge yourself and try to do little by little, baby steps every day. And this is something that will lead you to success in language learning. Skończę książkę po polsku czytając 10 stron dziennie. I will finish reading 1 Polish book by reading 10 pages a day. Skończę książkę po polsku czytając 10 stron dziennie. We will finish, which means I will finish reading 1 Polish book by reading 10 pages a day. 10 pages a day doesn't seem like a big challenge, right? Yet, it's really possible to finish even the longest book by just doing that, just 10 pages a day. When you are choosing a book, remember about one very important thing. Don't choose book that is too difficult for you. So choose book where you can read it without actually looking up words in the dictionary. What I mean is that if you spend more time looking for words in dictionary than reading the book, the whole fun is not there. That's one thing. This is not helping you to learn. So that's one very important rule. Choose book that is at your level, and then just try to read 10 pages a day. And maybe one day you will say, 15, or 20, because it's so interesting. So just remember, choose interesting book, not too high level, and read at least 10 pages a day, and that's something everybody can do. Good luck! Zdam test z polskiego. I will pass my Polish test. Zdam test z polskiego, which means I will pass my Polish test. So maybe you are on vacation in Poland and you are taking some kind of Polish language course, and there's a lot of courses offered all around the Poland, a very nice way to spend your vacation as well. And then, of course it's nice to take different kind of courses, but then, you've got some kind of Polish certificate or Polish test, and that's a good goal to set for yourself. And once you do it, once you pass it, it's like, oh, this kind of feeling of achievement that makes you happier about yourself and makes you, you wanna do more, you wanna try more. Yeah, it's a good goal for your language learning, and you can study with polishpod101.com materials and prepare yourself for a Polish, for example, certificate course. So good luck! Zrozumiem w pełni jeden polski film, oglądając go codziennie. I will fully understand one Polish movie by watching it every day. Zrozumiem w pełni jeden polski film, oglądając go codziennie. Which means I will fully understand one Polish movie by watching it every day. And don't be, too hard on yourself, even if you don't understand it fully. It's okay. Once you get the general plot, that's perfect. That's a very good practice. You don't have to understand every single grammar point in every single sentence. That's not the point. Watch, enjoy, and good movies for that. I would recommend you Killer, which basically the Polish title is Killer, which is a very funny comedy and very relaxing, and I guess the language is not so difficult, so that's one of the movies I would recommend you. Totally, watch Killer. Przedstawię się po polsku moim polskim przyjaciołom w ciągu 3 minut. I will give a 3-minute introductory speech in Polish to my Polish friends. Przedstawię się po polsku moim polskim przyjaciołom w ciągu 3 minut. This basically means I will give a 3-minute introductory speech in Polish to my Polish friends. What's so good about this goal is that you actually tell yourself, 2 sentences is not enough. You have to go further. You have to say something more like my name is. It's not enough anymore. So 3 minutes, it's setting a realistic goal. You can measure it with actually a clock. And this is something you can achieve within the first few months of the year. And then from that you can go up. Good luck with that one. Nauczę się na pamięć 5 polskich piosenek. I will memorize 5 Polish songs. Another good way of studying Polish and another good goal for you is nauczę się na pamięć 5 polskich piosenek. I will memorize 5 Polish songs. What's so good about it is that songs are relatively easy to memorize, and then you learn new words out of it. And it's actually enjoyable when you listen to songs. You can try to sing it, you can try to repeat it, and then you kind of memorize it. And that's something that will stay with you for a long time, because every time you hear this memory, you will be like, remembering all these words, and it will be coming to your head. And it was like, whoa, I know Polish almost. A good band I would recommend you would be Elektryczne Gitary, which can be translated as electric guitars. Elektryczne gitary, please check it out. Zapamiętam 350 słów za pomocą fiszek z polishpod101.com. I will finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards on polishpod101.com. Another good goal for the whole year is zapamiętam 350 słów za pomocą fiszek z polishpod101.com, which basically means I will finish memorizing 350 words with flashcards from polishpod101.com. I'm not a big fan of flashcards, but they can really help you, get this sense of achievement. So when you are trying to play with them, remember to make simple sentences as well. And remember, this is not the only way of studying a language, but that's a very good helper, something that will help you get, more confident in your skills. And I guess will help you memorize new words as well. So just try it. Maybe that's the way for you. Napiszę 10 kartek pocztowych po polsku do moich polskich znajomych. I will write 10 postcards in Polish to my Polish friends. Napiszę 10 kartek pocztowych po polsku do moich polskich znajomych. I will write 10 postcards in Polish to my Polish friends. What's good about postcards is that they don't have to be long, so you don't really have to be very good. And there is some set phrases that you can look up on the internet. You can check polishpod101.com for that. And some things like you can use very simple sentences and then just practice. And you're practicing writing as well. Writing can be very tricky, especially in Polish when you have two different ż. One is RZ, the other one is the ż with the dot on the top, and there's which one to use. Actually, I have problems with that too. Don't worry. So this is a very good way to practice the language, the actual language. Nauczę się, jak mówić o przeszłych, teraźniejszych i przyszłych wydarzeniach. I will learn how to talk about past, present and future events. Another good thing to tell your story is to nauczę się, jak mówić o przeszłych, teraźniejszych i przyszłych wydarzeniach. Which basically means I will learn how to talk about past, present and future events. Zapamiętam 150 słów poprzez uczenie się 5 słów dziennie. I will master 150 words by memorizing 5 words a day. Okay, another one could be zapamiętam 150 słów przez uczenie się 5 słów dziennie. Which means I will master 150 words by memorizing 5 words a day. 5 words a day doesn't sound really difficult, right? Yet, by doing that for another 30 days, and that's only 1 month, you can actually get up to 150, and 150 is an achievement. 10 gift ideas you must know in Polish. Laptop, 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 laptop. Laptop is basically a laptop, and that's the best idea for a gift for yourself, because it's pretty expensive. So if you are a guy, you would say kupiłem nowy laptop. If you are a girl, you would say kupiłam nowy laptop. And that basically means I bought a new laptop for myself. Książka, book. Książka. Very difficult to pronounce in Polish, I guess. Książka. Książka means a book. And for example, when you get yourself a nice book and you go back to your country, you can brag about it to your friends and say, oh, tę książkę kupiłam w Polsce. I bought this book in Poland. By the way, be careful to say tę książkę, not tą książkę. You may hear tą książkę, and it's actually okay to say it in a spoken form. It's not okay in a written one. Yet a lot of native speakers make this mistake. You can hear it on TV, news broadcasters, politicians, even very smart people, even teachers, Polish teachers, they make this mistake. So I think pretty soon it will be a correct form, even in a written form. For now, you can say tą książkę, but it's not correct. Tę książkę is the correct form. Mapa świata, world map. So the next one is something you can buy for your friend who loves to travel the world, who's like a vagabond and loves to go from country to country. And the best gift for a person like that would be mapa świata. Mapa świata means world map. If you are a person like that and somebody gets you one, you can say dostałam mapę świata. If you're a girl. If you're a guy, you would say dostałem mapę świata, which means I got a world map. Aparat fotograficzny, camera. So now, another very expensive gift that you probably buy more for yourself than for somebody else is aparat fotograficzny. Aparat fotograficzny means camera, and be careful because in Polish, camera, which is kamera, in Polish it means just the video camera. So for camera, like taking pictures camera, it's aparat fotograficzny. So again, if you bought this new camera for yourself, this new aparat fotograficzny, you can say to jest mój nowy aparat fotograficzny. This is my new camera. Smartphone, smartphone. Okay, so our next word is smartphone. Smartphone, basically, it means smartphone. I guess the accent is a little bit different, more Polish-like. The biggest difference is in the spelling. You can spell it with PH, but you really don't. You do spell it with F, smartphone. Okay, so when you see your friend playing with his new maybe smartphone, you can ask, "O, masz nowego smartfona? Do you have a new smartphone?" Konsola do gier. Game console. So our next word is konsola do gier. Konsola do gier means just a game console. And as you can probably hear, consola, console, kind of similar. It comes from English. Konsola do, which means for, and gier, which means games. So when Christmas is coming and you approach your parents and you smile a lot, you are very nice, and then you say, chciałabym dostać nową konsolę do gier, which means I would like to get a game console. Or if you're like me, you pretend that Santa Claus exists, you write a letter, you put it there for your parents to find, and you're waiting for your new game console. Lot do Polski. A flight to Poland. Lot do Polski. Lot do Polski means a flight to Poland. Okay, that's something a lot of people would probably like to get. So for example, when you're checking flights to Poland, you can ask, po ile są loty do Polski? How much are the flights to Poland? Ceramika. Ceramic. Ceramika. Ceramika means ceramics. If you're a fan of ceramics, you probably would recognize this beautiful patterns, mostly in blue, which are getting more and more popular all around the world. Ceramika z Bolesławca jest popularna na całym świecie. Ceramic from Bolesławiec is known around the world. Bursztyn, amber, bursztyn. It means amber, and it's something that Poland is very well known for. And amber in Poland is very, very, very cheap if you compare it to other countries. We've got a lot of it. We are making a lot of stuff from it. Of course, some kind of like necklaces and other accessories. Obviously, we use it for stuff like some kind of accessories to your hair and for earrings. That's not the only way we are using amber. We do use amber, for example, to make alcohol. So like my grandma, she used to believe like when you put a lot of spirits into amber, and then you can make alcohol out of it as well, but you can actually use it as kind of homemade medicine for your back pain. The northern part of Poland developed its own amber cuisine, which is mostly probably for tourists to try some dishes with amber on top of it. I've never tried it, to be honest. So for example, you can say Polska słynie z bursztynu, which means Poland is famous for amber. Strój ludowy, national clothes. Strój ludowy. Strój ludowy, which basically means national clothes. It's not so popular, in Poland to have one. It's not like every family has one. And I guess people don't really dress in those kind of clothes anymore, unless you are a performer, and you are like dancing in a dancing group and you are dancing traditional dance, then you will have one. If you're living in a smaller village, you will have one, I guess, for all the types of national holidays and all the types of celebrations, usually related to the Catholic Church. The funniest thing about Polish national clothes is that many different types of national clothes, depending on where you are from. Typical Polish person can say more or less where this one is coming from. So if you are visiting Poland and you want a nice souvenir to take with you home, you can say kupię sobie strój ludowy, which means I will buy national clothes for myself. 10 must-know autumn vocabulary. So here we go. Sweter, sweater, sweter. Sweater basically means sweater. What you can hear often from your mom, if your mom is Polish, it would be załóż sweter, which means put on the sweater. So basically Polish moms are very much concerned about your health, and whenever it's getting colder and it's at autumn and they would like, oh, put on the sweater, załóż sweter. Deszczowy, rainy. Deszczowy, rainy. So deszcz means rain in Polish, and deszczowy, it's an adjective. For example, we can say dzisiaj jest bardzo deszczowy dzień. Today is a very rainy day. When autumn comes in Poland, we got a lot of rainy days. It's not as bad as rainy seasons in some other countries, but be sure to get your umbrella ready. Wietrzny, windy. Wietrzny. Wietrzny means windy. We got a lot of windy days in październik and in listopad, which is basically October and November. So for example, you can say listopad jest raczej wietrzny, which means November is rather windy. Chłodny, cool, cold. Chłodny. Chłodny means cool or cold, and it's an adjective. It can be used to speak about weather. So for example, you can say październik w Polsce jest chłodny. October in Poland is cold. You can also use it about person's character. So for example, you can say that this person is chłodny, chłodna, depending on the gender, and this means that this person is just distance. Jesień, autumn. And the next one is jesień. Jesień means autumn. So you can say lubię jesień w Polsce. I like autumn in Poland. Which I actually do because it's very beautiful. We do have all those leaves with like beautiful colors, orange and gold. And there is a lot of things to do, and you can go for a very nice walk around listopad or grudzień, which is November and December. It's getting quite cold, quite chłodno, and it's better to put on a jacket. Still, it's very nice for a walk. Zimno, cold. So the next word is, and it's getting even colder, it's zimno. Zimno means cold. So we already got chłodny, which was cool or cold, and this is an adjective. And you can say chłodno to make it an adverb. Zimno is an adverb and it means cold. You can say zimny to make it like an adjective, or zimno. Zimno is an adverb. If you're in Poland and it's December, it's rather cold in December, I would say it can get down to like, or even January, it can get down to like minus 25 degrees. So you can say dzisiaj jest bardzo zimno, which means today is very cold. Kasztan, chestnut. Okay, and what's the best thing to do in Poland in autumn? Well, the best thing is to collect kasztany, or the singular kasztan. Kasztan means just a chestnut, and I guess this is the main thing we used to do. I mean, when I was little, and when autumn came, we were going out and then just collecting kasztany and making all those small like animals and stuff. I guess nowadays it's not so popular. If you want to go and collect chestnuts, you can say, chodźmy pozbierać kasztany. Let's go pick up the chestnuts. Koszula z długim rękawem. Long sleeved shirt. Okay, so if your mom don't tell you, please put on your sweater, she will probably tell you, please put on a long sleeve shirt, which is koszula z długim rękawem. Koszula is a shirt, z długim rękawem, with long, długi, z długim rękawem, sleeve. And if you've got a Polish mom and you are going hiking, she will probably tell you, weź koszulę z długim rękawem. Take the long sleeve shirt. Święto Dziękczynienia. Thanksgiving. Okay, this one is not very Polish, but I guess you can use it, especially if you come from English-speaking country and you celebrate this one. Święto Dziękczynienia. Święto Dziękczynienia means just Thanksgiving. Święto is a kind of celebration, and dziękczynienia, it's Thanksgiving, like dziękczynienie, dziękować, dziękować. You probably heard dziękuję, which means thank you. So dziękczynienie is like dziękować, dziękuję, thank you, and czynienie, which is like doing something, so doing the thank you thing. Święto dziękczynienia. So you can get curious and ask, czy obchodzicie święto dziękczynienia? Do you celebrate Thanksgiving? Which in Poland probably you hear no. No, we don't. We do have better things like Christmas. Liść, leaf. And the last word for today is liść. I guess it's very difficult to pronounce. Liść. And it means leaf. When you go and walk around, it's beautiful autumn, golden leaves falling down, you are collecting your kasztany, chestnuts, and you see this very, very beautiful leaf, you can say, jaki ładny listek. Listek, it's the same liść, it's just like a smaller version of it. So you can say, jaki ładny liść as well, and if it's very small and cute, and it's like, oh, how cute, jaki ładny listek. What a nice leaf. 10 phrases for surviving back to school. So let's start. Plecak, backpack. Plecak, which basically means backpack. I guess it comes from Polish word plecy, plecy, which is a back. So plecak, it's something you put on your back, backpack. So you can say zapakuj to do plecaka, pack this in the backpack. Kolega z klasy, classmate. Kolega z klasy, classmate. So introducing your classmate, if he is a guy, you can say, to jest mój kolega z klasy. This is my classmate. If it's a girl, to jest moja koleżanka z klasy. This is my classmate who is a girl. We say, this kolega, koleżanka. We use it like a friend, but not a very close friend. Praca domowa, homework. Praca domowa, which basically is homework. Praca means work and domowa is like homes. So praca domowa is basically homework. It's not one word, it's two separate words. You can ask your kid, odrobiłeś już pracę domową? Have you done your homework yet? Egzamin, exam, egzamin, which basically means exam, and it probably comes from English, but the spelling is very different, so pay attention to spelling. And when you have like very important exam next day, you can say, jutro mam ważny egzamin. Tomorrow I have a very important exam. Jutro mam ważny egzamin. Especially up to high school, we say sprawdzian, which comes from sprawdzać, which means to check, so sprawdzian means to checking the knowledge. And I guess once you are at the university, you will call it colloquium, which is the sprawdzian, but at the university level. For whatever the reason, we've got another name for that. Letnie wakacje, summer break. Letnie wakacje, summer break. Co będziesz robił w wakacje letnie? What will you be doing during the summer break? Co będziesz robił w wakacje letnie? Summer break actually in Polish schools, it's pretty long. So up to high school, we got like 2 months of summer break, basically July and August. And because the school ends at the end of June, but there's still usually 1 week left, so it's like 2 months and 1 week, small week. Szkoła, school. Szkoła. Szkoła means school, any type of school. Although for university level, we would say uniwersytet, or if you really want to use szkoła, you can say szkoła wyższa, which is like the higher type of school, if you translate literally. So if you want to ask somebody where he or she is going to school, you can ask, gdzie jest twoja szkoła? Where is your school? Uczyć się, to study. Uczyć się. Uczyć się means to study. So when you see somebody studying really hard, you can come closer and ask, czego się tak uczysz? What are you studying so hard? Czego się tak uczysz? To jest pierwszy dzień zajęć. It's the first day of class. To jest pierwszy dzień zajęć. This is the first day of class. So in Poland, up to the high school, the first day is actually the 1st of September. And I guess there is always something big going on in each school, so there are not really like classes per se. We've got this big ceremony and singing like the school's item or celebrating. And then the school starts from the next day, actually. But we call it the first day of school. And for university level, the first day of school, it depends on the department and on the university, but it's somewhere around October. Jesteśmy w tej samej klasie. We are in the same class. Jesteśmy w tej samej klasie. We are in the same class. Classes in Poland are actually set for the elementary school. They are usually A and B or ABC or ABCD. It depends on how big the school is. And usually 30 students per class, sometimes 20, 25 in the elementary school. And the classes don't change every year, so you stay with the same people throughout 6 years of your education. And then from junior high and high school, you actually choose a profile to your class. So you can do like more math or more biology or more English if you want. And this is kind of very important for whatever you will be doing at the university. So you usually try to choose whatever you will need for the university exams, because this will be the subject that you will have more classes of. Like, for example, I got math and information science, so we got a lot of those, and we didn't really get a lot of like English classes or Polish classes, or we got only, half of the history classes for whatever other profiles had. Na jakie zajęcia chodzisz? What classes are you taking? Na jakie zajęcia chodzisz? What classes are you taking? Na matematykę i fizykę. Mathematics and physics. Words you will need for the beach. So let's start. Okulary słoneczne. Sunglasses. Okulary słoneczne. Sunglasses. So for example, if the sun is very, very strong and your friend is walking like this, trying to see something, you can tell him, załóż okulary słoneczne, which means put on sunglasses. Sun in Poland, well, I guess in summer it can get very strong, so it's better to get your okulary słoneczne, your sunglasses ready for Polish summer. Plaża, beach. Plaża. Plaża means beach. For example, you can say, dzisiaj idziemy na plażę. Today we are going to the beach. Beaches in Poland are really beautiful. If you go to the northern part, there's this Baltic Sea and there's a lot of long beaches. Even though they are pretty long, there are actually a lot of tourists there in summer, especially in cities like Gdańsk or Sopot, which are very, very popular. Pływanie, swimming. Pływanie, it's a noun and it means swimming. For example, you can say, bardzo lubię pływanie. I really like swimming. Be careful because there tend to be a lot of jellyfish and they can be pretty dangerous. So always ask the locals if it's safe or not to go to the sea. There are no sharks though. That's safe. Słońce, sun. Słońce, sun. For example, you can say, dzisiaj jest bardzo mocne słońce. Today the sun is very strong. Indeed, sun in Poland tend to get very strong, very vicious. So be sure to put some kind of protection before you go out. And if you get sunburn, there is this very good way to get rid of it. We got in Poland, when we get sunburn, we just put kefir. Kefir, which is like a type of yogurt kind of thing. You cannot buy it in a lot of other countries, but in Poland it's very popular. It's very cheap. It can cost like 1 zloty, which is like 25 cents. And you put it just on yourself, on your body. You lie down with it. It looks ridiculous, but it actually works. Palma, palm tree. Palma, palm tree, because we've got a lot of palm trees in Poland. Not so much. We actually have none, zero. You can say, w Polsce nie rosną palmy. There are no palm trees in Poland. Muszla, seashell. Muszla. Muszla means a seashell. So you can say, zbieraliśmy muszelki. We are collecting seashells. Especially early in the morning, you can collect some seashells. And on the top of that, you can actually find some amber as well. So Poland is very rich in amber. And if you go very early, you can actually get yourself a pretty decent souvenir. Strój kąpielowy, swimsuit. Strój kąpielowy, swimsuit. So, for example, if you see your friend with this gorgeous swimsuit, you can ask her or him, to jest twój nowy strój kąpielowy? Is this your new swimsuit? Ocean, ocean, ocean. Ocean basically means the ocean, and I guess when you are in Poland you can say chciałabym zobaczyć ocean. I would like to see the ocean, because there is no ocean in Poland. Ratownik, lifeguard. Ratownik. Ratownik means lifeguard. Whenever you go to the beach, it's better to make sure you know if there is a lifeguard or not. If there are none, you can say nie było tam ratowników. There were no lifeguards there. Nie było tam ratowników. Skuter wodny, jet ski. Skuter wodny, which is basically jet ski. If you want to ask your friend if he or she has ever tried it, you can say jechałeś kiedyś na skuterze wodnym? If that's a guy, or jechałaś kiedyś na skuterze wodnym? If that's a girl, which basically means have you ever driven a jet ski? That's pretty much an activity you can enjoy in Polish Sea. Ręcznik plażowy, beach towel, is something you cannot forget. Ręcznik plażowy. Ręcznik plażowy basically means beach towel. So if you want to make sure that you actually have it, you can ask your friend, wziąłeś ręcznik plażowy? Have you taken the beach towel? Leżak, beach chair. Leżak, beach chair. It actually comes from a verb, leżeć. Leżeć means to lie down, so leżak is a thing to lie down on, which is a beach chair. Wypożyczymy leżaki. We will rent the beach chairs. Zamek z piasku, sand castle. Zamek z piasku. Zamek z piasku means the sand castle. So you can say, zbudujmy zamek z piasku. Let's make a sand castle. This was one of my favorite activities when I was little. Chłodziarka, cooler. Chłodziarka. Chłodziarka is a type of cooler. So something that will help you, keep your water cold for hot summer. Włóż napoje do chłodziarki. Put the drinks in the cooler. Przypływ, tide. Przypływ, which means tide. And for example, if the tide is already over, you can say już po przypływie, which basically means it's already after the tide. Przypływ, actually it's like made from two words, so przy and pływ. Pływ is from pływać, like swimming, and przy it means like getting closer. So basically it means like swimming closer, like the water is coming closer. That's why it's przypływ. Opalenizna, tan. Opalenizna means tan. Masz fajną opaleniznę. You've got a wonderful tan, which is a good thing to have in Poland. Snurkowanie, snorkeling, snurkowanie, snorkeling. But actually it's a pretty new word. I myself, I didn't know it. It's not a huge activity, you can do in Poland, to be honest. But if you go anywhere else with your Polish friends, you will probably find it very useful. Nie lubię snurkowania. I don't like snorkeling. I actually myself love snorkeling. Japonki, flip-flop. Japonki. It's flip-flops, but also means Japanese girls. It's probably because, flip-flops like that are very common in Japan, I guess. Or I guess that's our image of it. Kupiłaś już japonki na lato? Have you already bought flip-flops for summer? Krem do opalania, sunscreen. Krem do opalania, sunscreen. If you want to make sure that your friend will take one, you can just, say, weź ze sobą krem do opalania. Take the sunscreen with you. Bikini, bikini. Bikini, which basically is bikini. I guess the accent is different, more Polish. Bikini. Oh, and when you trained a lot before summer and you are in your bikini body, you can say, dzisiaj założę bikini. Today I will wear a bikini. 10 things to do in summer in Poland. My name is Marzena and, well, let's begin. Pojechać nad jezioro. To go to a lake. Pojechać nad jezioro means to go to a lake. So you can, for example, you can say, pojedziemy nad jezioro ze znajomymi. We will go to a lake with our friends. We've got many beautiful lakes in Poland, especially in the northern part.
There is this land called Land of 1000 Lakes, where you've got many lakes and they're connected, so you can go kayaking from one lake to another, and it can take like 1 or 2 weeks. That's a very nice way to spend summer in Poland. Relaksować się na plaży. To relax at the beach. Relaksować się na plaży. To relax on the beach. That's something I like to do. So you can say, dzisiaj będziemy się relaksować na plaży. Today we will relax on the beach. We've got very beautiful beaches in Poland, and it's pretty hot in summer. It can be like 28, 30 degrees. So it's actually pretty comfortable. And the only funny thing is that, well, there is so many tourists in summer and Polish beaches that it's very, very difficult to find a spot. So be sure to arrive early in the morning. Uczyć się polskiego z polishpod101.com. To learn Polish with polishpod101.com. Uczyć się polskiego z polishpod101.com. Which means to learn Polish with polishpod101.com. So, for example, you can say uczę się polskiego z polishpod101.com, which means I study Polish, I learn Polish with polishpod101.com. It's another funny thing you can do in summer, right? Nauczyć się jak gotować polskie potrawy. To learn to cook Polish food. Nauczyć się jak gotować polskie potrawy. To learn to cook Polish food. If that's your goal for this summer vacation, you can say w te wakacje nauczę się jak gotować polskie potrawy. This vacation I will learn how to cook Polish food. So we've got many amazing dishes in Poland, and some of them are not so difficult to do, and I'm pretty sure you can do it in your country as well. So be sure to attend one of those classes. Right now they are offering a lot in Warsaw and other big cities. If you are sightseeing, you can join one of those and learn some traditional Polish dishes like pierogi, Polish dumplings, or bigos, which is the sauerkraut, or goulash, which is Polish stew. Zrobić grilla. To have a barbecue. Zrobić grilla, which basically means to have a barbecue. That's a pretty common activity for summer in Poland. You can say when you are having like a barbecue party with your friends, you can say w sobotę robimy grilla, which means on Saturday we are having barbecue. At my house, we are having barbecue almost every week. In our garden, we invite our friends and family, and it's like a big Polish party. Imprezować całą noc. To party all night. Imprezować całą noc. To party all night. That one you can experience in all big cities. You can easily go to a big club in Warsaw, for example. You can change clubs. There is some deals with all you can drink included. And the best part about it is that you can actually take night bus back home if you decide to go home earlier than in the morning after getting one kebab or two. So, for example, if you wake up and you are like very tired and you want to call your friend and say, oh gosh, I partied the whole night, you can say, wczoraj imprezowałem całą noc. That's if you're a guy, and if you are a girl, you can say wczoraj imprezowałam całą noc, which basically means yesterday I partied all night. Opalić się. To get a tan. Opalić się. Opalić się means to get a tan. So you can, for example, when you see a friend and she came from her vacation and she's wonderful tanned, you can say or compliment her or him, ale się opaliłeś. If that's a guy, and if it's a girl, ale się opaliłaś. Which basically means, oh, you got yourself a tan. And that's usually a good thing in Poland. If you are too white, people will look at you like you are a weird person, like you are not going to get a tan when you could. Iść na pieszą wycieczkę. To go hiking. So the next one is iść na pieszą wycieczkę. Iść na pieszą wycieczkę basically means to go hiking. So, for example, you can say, poszłabym na pieszą wycieczkę, which means I would love to go hiking. And it's a very good activity to do in the softer part of Poland, where you've got beautiful mountains, wonderful landscapes. So basically everything you need to enjoy yourself outside in summer. And it's not too hot in the mountains. It should be like 25 degrees, so it's actually pretty good for a walk, for hiking or for piesza wycieczka. Pracować na pół etatu. To work a part-time job. Pracować na pół etatu means to work a part-time job. So you can ask, for example, if you want to know if somebody is part-time or full-time, you can ask them, pracujesz na pełen czy na pół etatu? Are you working full-time or part-time? It's not so common in Poland to work part-time jobs when you are studying. I mean, you can do that, obviously, but the hours are not so flexible, so you have to arrange your schedule, and it can be pretty tough. It's not so easy to get like 4 hours only shift, unless you are in a bigger city. Although people do that, people even work full-time while studying, that's possible, and actually more common in the older years, in the later years at the university. Dobrze spędzić czas z przyjaciółmi. To have fun with friends. Dobrze spędzać czas z przyjaciółmi, which means to have fun with friends. You can, for example, say, dobrze spędzę czas z przyjaciółmi, which means I will have fun with my friends. Well, when I go out with my friends, I usually like to go to a coffee shop, get a decent coffee, or I love to go, just walk around the city, do some shopping, sometimes window shopping actually, but that's lots of fun, something you can do together, or go to a cinema, see a nice movie. That's all those things you can do, and then, sit down in the park, or go to a riverside and then see the sunset. That's something you can do even in Warsaw, which is incredible. 10 ways to save the planet in Polish. So here you go. Utylizować. To recycle. So our first word is utylizować. Utylizować. Or to recycle. So for example, you can say, czy u was się utylizuje śmieci? Czy u was się utylizuje śmieci? Do you recycle at home? Exactly, do you recycle at home? I guess if you recycle or not, it really depends on the country, and then even in the country, within the country, it depends on the household. We do recycle in Poland, though it's not like every day. There are like special recycle bins, so people usually separate garbage and then they take it out every now and then. And I guess as everywhere else, there are people who do it and then people who don't. There is no special fines or anything for people who are not doing it, though I guess a lot of people try to. Because it's just easier. There are those big recycle bins, and you can go and throw your garbage anytime you want. And if you recycle, then there is less garbage at your house as well. So I guess that's something easy to do. Wolontariusz. Volunteer. And our next word is wolontariusz. Wolontariusz. Wolontariusz means volunteer. And for example, you can say, potrzebujemy więcej wolontariuszy. Potrzebujemy więcej wolontariuszy. We need more volunteers. As you may already noticed, first of all, wolontariusz comes from English. So it's very close, the sound is very close to volunteer, volontariusz. And the second thing you may have noticed, it's a masculine noun. So you can use it for girls and for guys, but if you want to have the specific like feminine form, you would say
Wolontariuszka. So volontariusz is for guys, but you can use it for both, male and female. And if you want a female form, is wolontariuszka. Wolontariuszka. And in Poland, it's very common to be a volunteer when you are in high school or maybe elementary school or junior high. I was volunteering a lot, doing different stuff, like, helping at school, that would be one thing, but then helping organizing bigger events, or even in some charity work and so on. That's actually very common, like the big Christmas charity orchestra, the Wielka Orkiestra Świątecznej Pomocy event that is organized everywhere. I think that's very common to be a wolontariusz or wolontariuszka there. Ochraniać, to protect. And the next word is ochraniać. Ochraniać means to protect. And you can say, for example, jak ochronić się przed wirusami? Jak ochronić się przed wirusami? Which basically means, how do you protect yourself against viruses? So, first of all, the word ochraniać comes from chronić, which are very similar words. So, chronić means to protect, and ochraniać is protect as well, but the image is more like protecting the environment or protecting somebody. Chronić can be broader. You can say ochraniać środowisko, which means to protect the environment. Ochraniać środowisko. You can also change it easily to the other protect, which is chronić. So you can say chronić środowisko as well. And to give you another example, you can say musimy chronić środowisko. Musimy chronić środowisko. We need to protect the environment. Or you can say musimy ochraniać środowisko. Musimy ochraniać środowisko. We need to protect the environment. Yeah, so both ochraniać and chronić, they both mean to protect, and you can use one or the other in most cases. Używać ponownie, to reuse. Another one we have is a phrase. Używać ponownie. Używać ponownie means to reuse. Actually, używać means to use something, and ponownie means for the second time or again. And yeah, in English we are lucky enough we have a word for that, to reuse something. In Polish we just say używać ponownie. And you can say, for example, tego można używać ponownie. Tego można używać ponownie. You can reuse this. Tego można używać ponownie. And I guess there is this big movement for things you can reuse, so we don't really use like plastic forks or plastic knives or spoons. And even plastic bags, in Poland you have to pay for that. If you want to get a plastic bag, you have to pay additional few groszy. So it's not a big money, but people kind of become more aware that, first of all, it costs money to produce it, and it costs even more money to get rid of it, and usually you don't get rid of it, and it's just polluting our environment. So yeah, so I guess we have less and less plastic bags in Poland. Chronić, to conserve. And our next word is chronić. Chronić, to conserve. So remember when we were talking about ochraniać, we said it's to protect, and we said ochraniać is very close to chronić, and that's true. But chronić has another translation, and we can translate it into to conserve. So a very good example for that would be musimy chronić zasoby naturalne. Musimy chronić zasoby naturalne. We need to conserve natural resources.
That's something that has been a big issue, not only in Poland, but I guess all around the world. And even though the government may be not doing a lot, people are very aware of the need to protect or to conserve natural resources. And there is a big movement, and I guess young people are being more and more aware of how important it is. So we try to protect, we try to conserve our natural resources in Poland as much as we can, even though it's not very often. There may be no special government program to do so. Like normal people are trying to help and they're trying to protect and they're trying to share the awareness of how important it is. Zmniejszyć ilość śmieci. To reduce trash. Another very important thing to do is zmniejszyć ilość śmieci. Zmniejszyć ilość śmieci means to reduce the trash. And that's something you can do by your own as well. So one thing that has been done in Poland is, as I said before, you have to pay for your plastic bag, and people stopped buying those plastic bags because now they are aware that it costs money and then it costs money to utilize it, right? So, and that's another like garbage that we don't need. So that's one thing we are doing to just zmniejszyć ilość śmieci. So for example, you can use it in a sentence like należy zmniejszyć ilość śmieci. Należy zmniejszyć ilość śmieci. We need to reduce the amount of garbage. Troszczyć się o środowisko. To care for the environment. Now our next one is an obvious one, yet some people really tend to neglect it. And that's troszczyć się o środowisko. To care for the environment. To care for the environment. So troszczyć się means to care, and then środowisko is the environment. Altogether troszczyć się o środowisko means to care for the environment. And you can use it in a sentence like wszyscy musimy troszczyć się o środowisko. Wszyscy musimy troszczyć się o środowisko. We all need to care for the environment. And true as it is, we often tend to like forget about it. And I guess in Poland right now, the biggest problem is that during the winter it's very cold and you've got the central heating system, but very often you just burn stuff and then in your fireplace. And, you know, even in the central heating, if you have a house, you will just burn things in the fireplace, and if it's cold, it's okay. But a lot of people, they don't have money to buy one, so they will just burn trash. And that's becoming a big issue right now in Poland. We have big pollution issues during the winter. Używać produktów przyjaznych dla środowiska. To use eco-friendly products. Our next word, or actually a phrase, is używać produktów przyjaznych dla środowiska. Używać produktów przyjaznych dla środowiska. To use eco-friendly products. So używać, as you probably already know, is to use something. And then produkt is a product. And then środowisko is environment. So produkt przyjazny dla środowiska means eco-friendly product. Przyjazny means like friendly or nice to you. So produkt przyjazny dla środowiska means eco-friendly product. And in a sentence you would use it like czy używasz produktów przyjaznych dla środowiska? Czy używasz produktów przyjaznych dla środowiska? Do you use eco-friendly products? Now, the thing is that eco-friendly products are usually more expensive than the normal ones. And I guess even though it's better than it used to be, still a lot of people, they cannot afford it. So they just buy those cheap products that are not necessarily eco-friendly.
And we still have issues with that in Poland, and I guess all around the world. But more and more people, especially in big cities, they kind of becoming aware of how important it is, and they don't really, they don't mind spending a little bit more if that's going to solve some issues regarding environment and environment pollution. Segregować śmieci. To separate garbage. And our next one is segregować śmieci. To separate garbage. So segregować means to separate, to divide by categories, and śmieci is garbage. And you can say, u mnie w domu segreguje się śmieci. U mnie w domu segreguje się śmieci. Which means, in my house we separate garbage. In Poland, we do separate garbage, although, of course, it really depends on the household, it depends on where you live, if you even have access to those big garbage bins where you can throw away plastic bottles or like glass bottles or cans. Yeah, but if you do have access to that, and I guess more and more people do, then I guess most people will do it, will separate it, because it makes recycling easier, but it also makes your garbage problem easier, by which I mean that you are going to throw away it in those big bins that are being there on the street, so you have relatively less garbage at home. So it's easier for you to separate them and then to throw it away in those public bins that are over there, lying there, sitting over there, just waiting for you to do it. Oczyszczać. To clean. So our next word may sound familiar, and it's oczyszczać, oczyszczać, to clean. You probably have heard the word czysty, czysty, clean as an adjective. So czysty, we transform it a little bit, and we have czyścić, so to clean something, and then we put the O in front of it, and it's oczyszczać. And the difference between czyścić and oczyszczać is that, well, czyścić is like, to clean your house, or to clean your plates, or to clean your, even your clothes, while oczyszczać is more for bigger things. So like to clean the rivers or the sea, or something like that, or water, like drinking water. That's oczyszczać, is like for bigger purposes. And for example, you can say, musimy oczyścić powietrze. Musimy oczyścić powietrze. We need to clean the air. And just to wrap it up, in this particular sentence, oczyścić is the only word you could use. You couldn't use czyścić, like to clean, because that's just for the small things that you are, cleaning your house, or as I said, cleaning your plates or something like that. And not for bigger things like, like the air or seawater or water, drinking water or something like this.
Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.